Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending where you're from, everybody. Thank you so much for coming into our second workshop with Sol today. She did a fantastic job in doing an interactive workshop recently, and this will be her second one for this hackathon. Just a few kind of things that I'd like to mention before we begin. This workshop is recorded. In case anybody has any questions, please use the chat function and type any of your questions on there. Sol will actually be looking at that on a regular basis, and she will do her best to answer those questions as she's doing the workshop. So I hope everybody is doing well in terms of their project for this hackathon. I think this workshop is quite an important one. Sol will provide a step-by-step hands-on on how to use RSK Truffle. So she's going to unwrap that for us and go through, the whole step-by-step on how to use that. So it sounds really, really exciting. So get your laptops ready, everyone. Make sure that you take full advantage of this, and then we will share the recording in the next couple of days or so. Cool. So shall we begin? So.
Hello. Great. So hello everyone. We're starting now, and I started presenting a bit, but not so much because it's a totally hands-on workshop. I will present you the truffle boxes, and especially the truffle box 2 RSK that we have in RSK. So about me, the most important to know about me is that I love workshops. I won some bounties in the past, and I really love to stay in workshops, to build projects, to know the projects, to know the people. It's very, very good. I'm very excited to do this. And I am a developer advocate in RSK. So I also love to teach and to talk and to be here teaching for you. It's a big pleasure for me. So first of all, I put the requirements because if someone couldn't do it before, you can do it now. We have it. This is our main tool of work. This is the pad. So I'm putting the link of the pad in the chat, and I will invite you to put your name, to write your name, because this is a collaborative pad. Everyone can write here, and everyone can erase everything here. So be careful. But it's very interesting because we can do something online in all parts of the world, but be together in the same place. And usually I will put the comments here, and you can copy and paste in your computer. So it's very easy to do it. The first thing I put in our pad is the requirements. Because if you didn't do before, you can do now. So this is the requirements. And we need to have Git installed. I put here Git for Windows because it's a bit more difficult. I'm using Windows. Also, we need Node, Curve, the Visual Studio Code, or another editor, text code editor. If you are using the Visual Studio Code, I recommend to you to install the Solidity VS Code extension 2. And the last thing to have installed is the Truffle. Okay, so you can do it now, and I will explain a bit more. All the things are in the pads, okay? So come back for the slides here. We have the requirements. After we will configure a web wallet, unbox a truffle box and understand what is a truffle box. Do some tests with our truffle box. The tests are done inside. We only have to run it. After we will deploy on RSK Testnet, and this is the most challenging part because sometimes to deploy using Truffle, it takes time. So we have the alternatives to do it. And in the end, we will interact with the token. So it's a token. We have some Truffle box already, and I choose the token Truffle box to do with you because in some projects it's important to have a token like if we are talking about community currencies, for example, a community currency is a token, and another kind of projects, the people who can use the tokens to measure something. So to learn how to do a token, it's be useful for you. Also, I will share this material after I put in the pad now. We have some truffle boxes. We have this. The starter box have only a smart contract, and we don't have front end, or we only have the truffle structure to a truffle box. And we have three more truffle boxes with different kinds of frontends. We have a truffle box using React, another using Next.js, and another with two parts, React and the Express, is to demo how to use a API, a kind of interface on where we have the client server part. And for today, we have the RSK token box, and you will start it in a few minutes. So I put in the pad some important links for us. Come back in the pad here. And hello, Truffle, Trelly, Shamin, Chris, Gerling, Maya. Welcome for everybody. And this is the material. We have our developer site, YouTube, more webinars, questions, newsletter. For questions, we have the Slack of our Slack for the hackathon is the best place to talk with us. And this is the main tutorials, okay? You use this GitHub directly because I don't have a tutorial right about it. This RSK token box, it's very new. So come back for a slide. I have one more slide for you. Oh, yes, we are in the pad now. And I put this over there. So we go to the hands-on part, the best part. So I think you install these things, this stuff, and now we'll go to install a wallet, a web wallet. This is our wallet. I can use MetaMask or Nifty. For today, I will use Nifty again. So this is the address for Nifty, and Nifty works only on Google Chrome, okay? You have a Google Chrome extension to install it. I have Nifty already installed, but I will remove and install it with you again because I would like to have a new mnemonic. So I don't have Nifty anymore. And I start again. And we can do together. If you can do it, you can write in the chat and I will try to help you. So I'm here in the Chrome Web Store, add to Chrome, add extension, and in a few minutes, I will have the extension installed here. Here, perfect. Now we have the Nifty here. I will pin the Nifty. And next, I will accept the terms of use. I need to choose a password. And I usually say that the password is not so important. The most important part is this, is our mnemonic. Sorry, because in this part I can't increase the fonts, okay? So I know that's not so big. This is my mnemonic. I have here 12 words, and with this I can use my wallet in any other web wallet or mobile. So this is the most important part of my wallet, because if someone knows this, any person can steal my cryptos. For now, I put my mnemonic here. I don't invite you to do the same. But save your mnemonic in a place, in a safe place, okay? And don't forget it. I can do a download of this. I do a download. So it's better. I have a download now. And I copy it. You are my friend, so you know my mnemonic. Here is the account. Nifty, it's built by POA. POA, it's a side chain from Ethereum. It's based on Ethereum. And we need to change it for RSK Testnet. So here I will choose RSK Testnet. And I have a new account here. And now I will invite you to put your address here, because we can send tokens for the others. My address is, I came here and I have the copy button, and I have my address here. So you can do the same and put your address here. And in the end, I can send you my token for you. You will creating token together. Okay. The next step is go to the faucet, and it's okay. Anyone have problems or questions about the Nifty wallet? I think it's okay. I have two monitors, so I'm looking for the chat in the other monitor, so I can do the both things in the same time. Here is the faucet. I need to have some smart bitcoins, is the RBTCs in testnet. So I have my address, I put in the faucet, and I need to resolve this captcha. I'm not so good with this. Hope it's right. No. And now? This is lowercase or no? I don't know. No. Oh, now it will be good. Yes, a transaction in RSK it's almost 30 seconds. It's different from Ethereum that we have 15 seconds, and in the same time is different from Bitcoin that it takes 10 minutes. So we have almost 30 seconds to mine a transaction in RSK. And it's good to say to you that RSK, it's a blockchain based on Bitcoin. We are a side chain based in Bitcoin, and the RBC is pegged to Bitcoin. One RBC it's equal 1 BTC. And in the same time, we are based in Bitcoin. We know that Bitcoin don't have the possibility of creating smart contracts in the same way we do in Ethereum. And RSK is based in the Ethereum EVM, Ethereum virtual machine, so we can do the same smart contracts, exactly the same tools and smart contracts that we use in Ethereum, we can use in RSK. For today, I will use a Truffle box with OpenZeppelin. OpenZeppelin, it's a set of controls audited by a big no-trust company, the Zeppelin Solutions, and we can use it here in RSK. So I will come back for my wallet and I can see that I have 0.05 RBCs. So it's great. The next step now, do you have phones? Where are here? It's okay. I really invited you to do this with me because we can have some cool things together, okay? It will be fun. Now I will create my project. Like I said before, I'm using Windows. So in Windows, I will do my project in this folder. So where is my folder? I put my folder here for you. It can be increased to be better. I think here you'll be better. Okay. So I will create a new folder, but I know that I have this folder. I will rename it to create it again with you. Perfect. Now I can do the same things. So I will create this folder. And now I will go to my folder. So in my folder, I will run the command to unbox the RSK Smart RSK token box. And this part usually takes some time because the Truffle Unbox command sets a project based in a template. And this also is installing all the necessary dependencies, like the dependencies we have in a package.json. So it takes some time. I will show you our Truffle box here now. And here, this is our Truffle box, the original Truffle box. And here we have detailed instructions too. So if you lost some step, we can go here and you can check these instructions to help you, okay? It's still downloading. I think the download is done. And now it's installing dependencies. And do you have some questions about it? No, it's okay. Okay, so here, Unbox is successful, and we have some comments in our box. Before try this comment, we go to open our project in Visual Studio. Truffle to do in Mac if you installed the requirements. So this part over there, you need to have the Git, the node, any version. I have node 10, it's okay. Curl is installed in Mac because you can use the terminal, a normal terminal. And for editor, it's you can install the Visual Studio Code, but you can also use the Atom. It's a great editor. And this is the most important part. In a terminal, install Truffle. Did you install it, Truffle? If you install it, all the instructions are the same. Perfect. So you can create a new folder and do this command. And you do the same. It takes some time and it's okay about it. So I have the Visual Code and it's open in another window. So I will come back for you. I will put some instructions for you. Here, we are using the Open Zeppelin smart contracts. Okay, I will explain more things and you can still unboxing. I know that takes some time. Like I said before, Open Zeppelin have a set of smart contracts very secure, and it's normally for us to use it in Ethereum or RSK networks. And I'm using here. I will explain my code, and beside I explain here, you can finish the unbox of your, okay? So what I have here, this is the Truffle structure. I have some folders, the contacts, migrations, and test folders was created by Truffle. And we have some files for configurations. This Truffle config file is the most important file in Truffle. But now I increase so much. Here is better. And here we are using the HD wallet provider to use our mnemonic in Truffle, and we will do it, configure this in a few minutes. And because do you know that gas prices can change a lot? In RSK, don't change so much, but in Ethereum, we have big changes with gas price, and now we have big challenges with gas price because it's so high. And because of this, it's important to update the gas price in the testnet to be sure that we have the last gas price. That's okay. You can use this now, but a lot, many times, if I have some error, I usually do this, okay, to update my gas price. Girling, if you can share your error in Unbox here in the chat, I can think about it. But usually the errors can happen because you don't have Git installed. Okay, check it because sometimes we install the node and the npm, but we don't install the Git, and this can cause error. Okay. And Musa, yes, this workshop is recorded. You can see you later, not today later, but we have some days and you will publish. But if you can try to follow us, you can go to the pads, because all the instructions are here. We are following these instructions, okay? Install the requirements, install a web wallet, create a new folder, and unbox the Truffle box, okay? And girling, I don't forget you. You can show your error with me and I will try to help you, okay? So come back here. Here I'm creating these two files, and in these files I have the gas price for testnet and from mainnet. I'd like to show something for you here. In RSK gas station, we can check the gas price. Now the Ethereum gas price, it's mostly 34 cents of dollar. And to do, this is a basic transaction to transfer something. And this is to do the same thing in RSK now. It's costs 1 cent and 29 cents of cents. So now RSK is 2,000 and half cheaper than Ethereum. Okay. And this is very interesting because we know that this is not so high. It's be worse a few weeks ago, but for RSK, it's better. It's cheaper to do it in RSK. Okay, and come back here. So we talk about the gas price, and another important part to know, to explain for you, it's about the networks. In Truffle config, we can deploy in any different networks. Here I have the developed network. It's like a blockchain simulator. We will use it here. And also I have a development network locally. I didn't use today. And we have the configuration to use the testnet with our mnemonic. We will use this, okay? Another important part is that we can choose the Solidity version that we are using in our smart contract. And beside of this, my smart contract is here. We are creating a token with only 7 lines. Wow, this is my Solidity version. And I'm able to create a token with only 7 lines because I'm using the Open Zeppelin library. And my token, it's importing all the ERC20 mintable, which imports the ERC20 and another content. So my content is small, but it's important a lot of things that it's automatic for us. Now I invited you to change the name of your token. So my token will be the post-COVID hackathon. And the symbol will be PCH. Usually in Ethereum we have 18 decimals place, but here I will use only 2, okay? To be easy to see it after. So I saved my post-COVID hackathon token, a big name. Okay. And with this, before do another thing, I will update this file, this secret. The secret is our mnemonic. So do you remember it? Do you know my mnemonic? So I come back here, I copy my mnemonic, and oh great, another person is here, but I think it's not Saul, because Saul it's me. What's your name? And come back for my mnemonic, the secret file, and I put my mnemonic here and save, because the I got the wallet provided you use this mnemonic to generate my address. So I'd like to do another thing in the token.sol. In my smart contract, I'd like to mint some tokens in the moment that I'm creating the token. Remember that my token is mintable. I can mint tokens in any moment, but the Open Zeppelin ERC mintable token, you put me like the owner, so I am in the mintable role, and only the account who publish this smart contract, you'll be able to do it. I'd like to do my token, to create my token with 100 of tokens minted. So I have 100 and 2 more zeros because I have 2 decimals place. Okay, and this will be for the message sender, which is the account which is publishing this smart contract. I will put this in the pad for you. So you are adding a constructor and updating the name. You are doing these things, okay? Update name and symbol, add a constructor. Now I can compile my smart contract. Here, Truffle compile. Wait a second. Look at the gas price at Testnet and mainnet. And my smart contracts only this is the token.sol, but you can check that we have already compiled a lot of other smart contracts that which are important by mine. Okay, this is not a magical thing, but I can create a token with 7 lines, but I have a lot of other tokens, a lot of other contracts inside this. So where do you deploy our smart contract now? First of all, you will do some tests in the development console. Like I said before, in the development console, it is a blockchain simulator. And I have a list of 10 accounts, a mnemonic that is not my mnemonic, and the truffle, the command prompt you changed for this truffle development. Look here, I have the accounts, 10 accounts, 10 private keys, a mnemonic different that it was generated by truffle only for this console, and it changed the here, it changed the prompt. Before deploy, I would like to test my smart contract. So to test a smart contract inside a Truffle console, I can use only the command test. So test. And I write to you that I know that we have erroring symbol, and we have more errors now because I put the constructor. And we have an erroring symbol because we changed it, and we have an error in the total supply, initial supply, because if I don't add the constructor, the initial supply was 0, but now it's not 0. I have something. So my test is failed. Oh, where is the test? The tests are in the test folder. So I have here the test token, and this is my token. This is my symbol, and I'm testing here. So I can use the same name in my test and the same symbol. And here in the constructor, it has a symbol, but it has an initial supply equal 100 and 00. So this is my initial supply. It's not 0 anymore. And here I'm testing how to mint and verify the total supply after mint tokens. I have a total supply before, and I'm minting some tokens. The total supply after must be the total supply before plus the amount of tokens minted. I'm checking this, and I'm checking the transfer. I'm checking the balance of an account after a transfer. So here I'm using the account 0 to mint a token because I need to have tokens before. I will save the balance of account 2 before transfer. I will transfer tokens from account 1 for account 2, and I will check the balance after the transfer. And the balance after the transfer must be equal the balance before plus the amount of token transfer. Yes, Chris, I will put these changes in our pad, okay? This is the test token updated. Remember you that you have a different symbol or a different name than me, okay? To be sure, I will put the token here, okay? Token, because so this is my token, and because of this, if you use exactly this, these tests will be working, okay? We will verify now if our test is better now. I need to check if I saved the file. Yes, I saved it. So test it again. Oh, almost perfect. I have some different in the mint because I have a different mint. But the first, it's okay. I need to check this. I don't check this now. But you can see that the tests pass most of them. The minter, I have some events, and this is very interesting because I got an error in the mint, in the total supply after mint. Oh, I know the error too. And I have some events here, and all of these are showing in the test, so it's better for me to understand this. What is the second error? Because I suppose that in the beginning, I have the same total supply. Total supply before, total supply after, and now I have is not zero. It's because of this I have another error here because this is different, okay? But this is not a problem now. So the next step is migrate my smart contract. It's deploy. Deploy in Truffle is the command migrate. I am inside the Truffle console. I only use the migrate. If I am outside the Truffle console, I will use the Truffle migrate command. Because I am inside, it's only migrate. And it's done. We can check that we have two smart contracts here, the migrations smart contract and the token.sol. I will explain more about it after, okay? We can check the cost of this. This is a blockchain simulator, and this is Truffle. Because of this, it's Ether. It's no problem for us. I will put these instructions for you in the pad. Here it's to deploy the smart contract. And now we will interact with our smart contract. I put a lot of instructions for you. You will do all of these things, okay? First, I need to pick up my accounts. The accounts which were generated by Truffle in the beginning. Do you remember? This is my accounts. Yes? Yes, I did it twice. And this is a constant, so yeah, I can do it again. If I put accounts, I can see the list of my accounts. And if I would like to see only or to use only one account, it's array, so I put the position in the array, and I can check one account. I will put my instance token in a variable, in a constant too. So the token, now the lowercase token, is my token. If I put a token dot tab, I will have the out completed, so I can check everything about my token. I'd like to see the address of my token. So add tab, no. So I put everything. Token dot address, and this is the address of my token. Yes, Chris. Now the test script, it's like mine. Oh, I did it before. I think it was a new question. So now I will do some things. I'd like to see the total supply. Here I have 100 of tokens. I'm converting to string because this is a big number and it's difficult to see, and it's better to see in this way. In the same time, I know that this supply, it was for the account who published the smart contract. So the balance of account 0 is this. If I try the balance of the account 1, it's 0. It's okay. So I have 10. I change something. I have I mint for account 1, not for account 0, 100 of tokens 2. This is the transaction. To mint this, I have logs. I will talk about it a bit later. And I will come back to the balance of account 1. And now I have 100 of tokens and the total supply. The total supply now must be 200. Yes, the total supply are 200. Perfect. In the same way, if I'd like to mint for an address, a full address, I can use this. To be sure that a Google Doc don't change my symbols. And here I'm minting for an account. This is the address of the account, okay? And this is the same. If I'd like to check the balance of this account, now I have 102. The last step in this part of interacting with the smart contract here is to transfer tokens. I will transfer 40 tokens from account 0 to account 2. I have a new transaction and I can check the balance of account 2. It's 40. And what's the balance of account 0 now? Do you know? Do you remember how much we had before? I think it was 100. So now we will have 60. Yes, perfect. And the total supply must be the same. And I will think about it. I minted 100 in the constructor, 100 for account 1, 100 for accounted with name. So 300. Oh, it's perfect too. Another interesting thing, it's we have events. Do you remember that I showed some events in the test? To see the events, we need to save the transaction. So here I may transfer more 40 for account 2, but I'm saving the transaction in the variable T. And to check the events, I will look the logs. The first position of the logs is the first event. So here I can check the event transfer with the results from this account to this account and the value. The value is a big number, remember this, okay? And this is important because in many times we need to monitor a blockchain. We would like to monitor our smart contract. And with a web service or something like a web service, we can listen the events and know what's happened with our smart contract. Wow, we did a lot of things with our smart contract here, but this is a blockchain simulator. The next step is do the same thing in a real blockchain. So we will try to do in the network, the testnet now. I will exit the Truffle console, exit. And do you remember that we talked about to set up the gas price in the testnet? I put the command here to be sure. Here, to run the curl command, I cannot use the normal terminal in Windows. In Mac or Linux, you can use the terminal normal because the terminal have curl. for Windows, it's different, okay? So I will have here a git bash console, and I will run this here. I'm not in my folder, so I will go to the right folder. And now I will run this. So my minimum gas price testnet was updated now. And I make sure that I have the best price in the testnet now. To deploy in the testnet, you have only one command. But I need to confess you that this is a challenge, a big challenge, and sometimes not work here, okay? So I will try to run this command. I'm not in the Truffle console anymore, so I will use the Truffle migrate network testnet. And now, this can take some time because Truffle has 2 smart contracts, not only mine. You can come back here. Look in the contact folders. This is my token. We talked about it. But I have another smart contract here, the migrations.sol. This migrations.sol, it's a smart contract created by Truffle. And the Truffle uses this smart contract to manage the deployments that we have in this project. Each project have one migrations.sol. So first Truffle deploy this smart contract. After it will be deploy my token.sol, and it you update this smart contract. And we are talking about 4 transactions. And sometimes it takes more time than that usual. The migrations.sol, it's deployed. I'm very happy with this. This is in the second transaction that it's saving migration to the blockchain. And after it, we started my token.sol. Sometimes this is stop in the middle. This take a lot of time because Truffle are every second querying the blockchain, the testnet, and because Truffle do a lot of requests, sometimes we are blocked and take some more time. So because of this, if you have problems, you put in the pad another option to do this. Another thing before, I will show the build folder. If you realize before, we don't have this build folder. This build folder was added by Truffle when we did the first compile. And look here, in the build content, we have so many JSON. With JSON, have the definition of a smart contract. I will look for our smart contract. So here I have all the definitions for my smart contract. The name, the ABI. Do you know that the ABI, it's the application binary interface? We need the ABI to interact with our smart contract. All the definitions of the public ways to interact with our smart contract is here, is in the ABI. So to interact with one smart contract that is already deployed in the blockchain, you need to know 2 things: the address of the smart contract and the ABI. I'm minimizing some things here, the ABI, the EST, the legacy EST, because I'd like to go here to the networks. In the networks part, we have the information of our deployed smart contract in a network. This network, 5777, is the network of Truffle development, is the ID of this network. The ID of the network Testnet, RSK Testnet, is 31. So in a few minutes, I will have a new network here. It's 31 with the address of our token in the testnet and the hash of the transaction which deployed this in the testnet. So here it's take many time. We will wait a bit more, but maybe I will use another alternative to do it. For now, to be fast, I will update this network with a token that I deployed yesterday, and I will send it to you. And you can do it together because we can interact with my token. It's another token. So I will open the other token in the Visual Studio. Here's another token, but I will put in another place. I'm doing the same. I will open here. I will open the token JSON, going to the networks. Look, I have the network 31. I will put this in the new because I will use a token that I already deployed yesterday to be fast now, okay? You can do the same. So where I need to put this? You will put this here. I need to put this before. So update the build token.json in line 1043. Add the network 31. This is the network 31, okay? And even if you didn't deploy now, you can interact with this token. I need to know the address of this token, this address. And now we can do it together. So address. This token has another name, okay? But it's okay. What's the name of this token? This second token, or RSK token 4, has the name My Soul. We are interacting with My Soul because this is taking so much time. I know that I have this token already deployed. So what I will do now? I will go to the Nifty wallet, tokens part, add token, custom, and put my address here, paste my address. Automatically I have it have returned for me the token symbol and the decimals of precision. And I'm adding my token. Oh, here is my token. Great, we have a token. We don't have nothing in this token. I'd like to mint, I'd like to do something with this token. So what I do now? Oh, great. You can check here that it takes so much time, but the first smart contract was deployed, and now they are trying to deploy the token smart contract. It can take more time here. So I will open a new terminal to continue with you. This is my new terminal. And I may go into our folder. I'd like to go to the Truffle console in my testnet. Okay. So Truffle console network testnet. I will do this in the second. Here I am in the testnet. In the testnet, I can check some things like the block number, and this will be increased every 30 seconds. I can check the network ID. Do you remember the third one is here too? And I need to do the same to pick up my accounts, to pick up the token. I put the comments here before. You can do with me. So I will pick up my accounts again. Oh, great. Now it's in the last step. It's saving the token in the chain. It's good. This is very good. And what I did before, okay, I create the accounts. I will check the account 0 again, account 0. And the account 0, it's 62. Here, the account 0 is 62, is the same, 62,737. 62,737. You can check that we are in the same account in the Nifty and in the Truffle console. So it's very good. We are in the same network. We are in the same account. We are in the same page. This is great. The next part is have the token deployed. Okay. I have an error here, but I think it's okay. So I will try the token tab, token, like we said we did before. Address. Here is my address. This address must be different from the address that I put here, or no? No, this is the same address. It's okay, no problem. Yes, this is the same. Because I have an error here, it's not updated in the Truffle. So I will try the Truffle migrate again, and I know that you do only the second, okay, not the first. It's not a problem for us. So this is the token address. It's perfect. And I can do the same things here. I can mint tokens. I can verify the total supply. The total supply is 0, do you remember? It's taking more time because we are in a network. I did a mint yesterday, but it was for another account. So we need to have this already done. And before of this, I'm doing some tricks with my smart contract. So what trick I will do now? I'd like to have to mint this token for my actual address, but I did this with another secret. And this secret I will not show for you. So I will go to another place to do this. .exit. I will go to the folder cd RSK token 4. Now I am in other folder. And I will go to the testnet. In this folder, I'm using another account, another mnemonic. Yes. And here I will do this. I will have another account here. It's not the same. I know. We can check the account 0. Yes, this is another account. But why I'm doing this? Because I'd like to mint tokens for you. But this address cannot mint tokens. So I need to do something to mint tokens. I will add my address in the token hole. So this is the token token.addminter, and I will use the address of the other token. Where is this? Here. I think I need to put the second part, or no. I'm sending a transaction to the network now to add a minter. And this minter is my account 0, which was in NIFT now. And after this, I can mint tokens for you from this second account. And look, this is very crazy because in this exactly moment, I have 2 connections in Testnet doing different things. I have one connection try to replacing my token, deploying a new token with you, and I have another connection where I do the add a new minter in my token. The next thing that I'd like to show you is that another alternative to do this kind of things, because sometimes it's faster to do in Remix. And I'd like to show you the Truffle flattener. And what is this? Here, I have another terminal. I'm going to my folder and I will install the Truffle flattener. This Truffle flattener is useful because it puts all, do you remember the files, all the files that was compiled with Truffle? We will put all the files from OpenZeppelin in the same file, all the smart contracts in the same file. Yes. Okay. With this, now I will flatten my token. This token flat.sol. And we can check it here. Here, where is this? Where is this? Token flat. Look for this. We have all the smart contracts in the same file. And why I would like to have all the smart contracts in the same file? My file is the last, okay? Here is the last. It's because I will deploy using the remix to be faster. We did some things in the remix in the last. I will put all the instructions for you in one time, because we did this in the last workshops, okay? So I will go fast in this. Choose a Solidity environment, create a token, but I am in the remix. I prefer to be in the remix without the HTTPS. It's better to interact with this. So go to the second button, create a token.sol, copy your token flat, Ctrl-A, Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V. No, it's not here. Yes, Ctrl-V, and it's okay. I will increase this. I will increase this. Perfect. This is my token. We have a problem here. What's the problem? I need to update the compile version for 5.2. Yes, it's perfect. Compile. It's okay. Go to the fourth button. It's the deploy and run transactions. Choose the injected web tree to connect my remix with the Nifty wallet. Now we are connected. Do you remember the account? 627? 627 is the same, okay? And choose the token contract and deploy. So I'm deploying the smart contract in this network in another way. So we have two options to deploy the smart contract. First is using Truffle migrate, but sometimes take a lot of time. And the other alternative is this, using a token flat, and after go to Remix and do the deploy here. Here it's faster. Only the 30 normally seconds. Huh. In the same time, I will have two tokens in the network. The first token now it's okay. Great. And look here, the token which I did yesterday, I have the admitted too. Wow. It's a lot of good news. I will mint something for that address too. Address and 300. And this will take some time again. But I have a lot of options now. Oh, I'm so happy. So I come back here and I will pick up the contact address of my token. I will share with you because we can do it together. Token address. This is my token. So go to the Nifty, add token, custom. This is a new token. This is the PCH token. Add it. And ta-da! I have 100 PCH tokens. And who would like to have PCH tokens too? You can, if you put your address here, I can send some tokens for you now. And you can have a remember, a souvenir of our workshop. And I'm waiting questions now. Oh, okay. Great. You will have some tokens now. I'm Nifty. PCH send for the recipient address. I will send 5 tokens for you. 500. 5.00. Next. We are in, I don't know who put this address here, but maybe this is MetaMask address because this have a different checksum, and I'm not able to send to this address now. Sorry. Did you check this? Look. I have a problem with the checksum. It can happen when we are using Nifty and we are using MetaMask address, for example. Yes, because it's MetaMask. I know. I can try a trick to do it for you. But I have time for questions now. You can put your questions here, and I will try to send to you in another way. But you change my address too. No, I think I'm not able to send to you now, Shamin. Account 2, it's created in Nifty. This? No, this is the same. Do you put another, Shamin, where do you put your account? You can put here your name and your account, like this. So, and I will put my account here. Write your name and your account. Someone have an account in Nifty to try? Shamin, where is your account? Okay. If you put your account in the pad now, I can send a token for you. It will be a pleasure. And only to you know, we have two times the same token. This is the another token address in Truffle. Token address in Remix. And I can add both here. Add one more. Oh, I need this before. Add token, custom, token address. Look, I have two PCH. One of these I deployed in the Remix, and the other I deployed in the Truffle. One in Remix, another in the Truffle. Oh, great! I'm very happy to have your address to send some tokens. I will send for this, is the Truffle. Send this. I will send for you 50 tokens. Oh, no, it's not the same. We have problems with the checksum yet. Shamin, do you know if you are in the RSK testnet? Because if you are in another network, we will have the same problem. We need to be in the same network. So only to finish, I'm waiting for questions, but you are not in the questions, so I'm talking more. I will pick up this second token. I go to Explorer testnet. Put my token here. This is my token. Okay. And sometimes it's important for you to verify your code. Okay, Chris, I will come back in a few minutes. Here, usually when we deploy a token in a network, we can verify your code. This is very important because the token, the contract verified, it's most truthful, most trust than the others. So I will go to the code and I will click in the verify contract. This is the name of our contract. The name is token. Do you remember? Yeah, you add a file here. I am in the RSK token flat. It's only this, and I can compile. I will choose the compile version 5.2, and you have the code or source code of my smart contract verified. Here, the post-COVID hackathon was verified now. I can increase this. Look here, it's our token. PCH, post-COVID hackathon token. And Chris, no, it's Chris, no, it's, yes. Chris, when I tried to deploy, I got that the port is taken. Yes, I will go to this. I'm using the, you can check in the Truffle config, okay? And now in the, okay, in the testnet, we don't have the port here. But we need to check which port is this. But it's, where you try to do it, Chris, because check if we have, if you have the Truffle console in one, okay, Truffle console in one place and try to deploy in another place, because both you use the same port. It can do, it can be this, okay? And shaming the token address, yes, we have the token address here. I have the token address in Truffle. I have the token address in Remix. And if you like, I have this token address for PCH. And I have the token address. The other is not important now. It's only this. We have it, both are the same. This was deployed in Truffle. This was deployed in Remix, okay? And with this now, you can use this smart contract. You can copy the token flat and using Remix too. How I use this? So if I go here, copy the token flat, go to the Remix, I can create a new file, token flat, token deploy it. Here I have the smart contract of the token. I will go to the fourth button, and here I choose the token, and I will go to the address, okay? In the address, I can interact with a token that which is already deployed in a network. I need to know the ABI of the token, but here I'm putting all the source code. Add to address, we know that we are the same, but this is the second. I did it now, and I can check the name, the symbol, wherever is the same, okay? And yes, Chris, Truffle test is failing. I know that. It's because of this. It's failing because I put this part. I need to change the test now. I didn't change it. If I only commented my constructor, only for show for you now, I can check it here. But an important thing, don't try to do this kind of tests in the testnet, okay? The tests we always doing in the Truffle development console or in blockchain locally, but not in the testnet, because it's not working. It takes so much time. Tests are better to do in local network, okay? Oh, like this test, now the test will work. Okay, perfect. You are trying locally. It's okay. Yes, because I change here and I need to change here again. The initial supply must be 0 again. 0 and 0, because I change one place and don't change the other. Test. Yes, now all the tests are passed. Okay. I know that I have the idea to change the constructor just now. So I didn't think about the tests after the constructor, but this is a great exercise for you to understand why I change, what things I change in the constructor, and what things I need to do for my tests passed now. This is a exercise for you. This can be a next step, and I think is this. I hope you like it, and I try to cover many things in. Um, I I don't have in so many time to do it. It's okay. It's anyone having more questions? Well, I think it's okay. Truffle, yes, would you like to oh yes, I will try your address now, Shaming. You be the last, okay? I really would like to send a token for someone. Oh no. Well, we will try it later in another moment. It's okay. So how to okay. No problem, Truffle. You can check the record. Maybe the instructions are here. We have one more here. This is the last. We try it. I have an idea. Sometimes when we have problems with checksum, we can convert it to lowercase and it will pass. Copy to clipboard. Yes, remember this. If you have problems with the checksum, convert your address to lowercase, okay? And Jamie, you will receive a token in 30 seconds. So I think it's this, it's done. I can mute you, or Antonio or Richard. Would you like to tell something?
Yes. It's been a great workshop. Just wondered whether we have any more questions. I'm guessing not. If you do, please just type them on the chat. I think it's been a great workshop. Sol has walked you through the truffle box, so you should be able to configure your wallet now and deploy smart contracts on the testnet using truffle tests, etc., and then interact with your dApp. How exciting! Really cool. So if you ever need to go back, on this particular workshop, promise that the video will be available in the next few days. So please keep an eye out on Slack for us, and then we'll share the video with you. The slides are quite short, so we'll share those slides anyway. But I think the going through the video, one more time is probably best. Does that sound about right, Sol?
Yes, no, is this. I put my contact here. Feel free to contact me in the Slack channel is the best place. But if you would like to add me in the LinkedIn, it's okay too. And it was a pleasure to be here with you. I hope you learn a lot. And see you in the hackathon.
Absolutely, yes. And Sol is also a mentor as well as a judge. So if you have any questions, she's always available on hand to help. So thank you so much again, Sol. Really appreciate your time. And thanks for everyone for tuning in. And then we're back tomorrow, this time with Thomas Stantak. So that will be a technical as well as a business kind of workshop. So feel free to get your questions ready for those, for that workshop. So once again, thanks everyone, and we will see you soon. See you on Slack. Thank you.
See you. Bye.